March the 13th, 2026. Guys, we've been talking about the Pearl of the Persian Gulf, I guess for maybe a week or two, maybe in a couple of different videos. There's one titled that. Anyway, we were wondering why no one had hit it, and we talked about probably the reason was they didn't want to destroy the most valuable asset that Iran has as far as exporting oil. And the Pearl of the Persian Gulf is called Kargh Island. Well, this afternoon, or tonight, basically, Trump announces U.S. military carried out its most powerful bombing raids in the history of the Middle East. He said moments ago, at my direction, the U.S. Central Command executed one of the most powerful bombing raids in the history of the Middle East and totally obliterated every military, now military is important, target in Iran's crown jewel, Kargh Island. Our weapons are the most powerful and sophisticated the world has ever known, but for reasons of decency, I have chosen not to wipe out the oil infrastructure on the island. However, should Iran or anyone else do anything to interfere with the free and safe passage of ships through the strait, I will immediately reconsider this decision. He said, during my first term and currently, I rebuilt our military into the most lethal, powerful, and effective force by far anywhere in the world. Iran has no ability to defend anything that we want to attack. There's nothing they can do about it. Now, you got to reverse that just a little bit. Iran is still attacking some pretty big oil industries. Now, but again, he says they can't defend us. We're also not able to defend what they're doing. I mean, we can come in and hit a few areas, but that's a giant nation full of mountains. We talked about that many times. But again, he said they took out the military installations on the island, the protection that Iran had put there. So without damaging the infrastructure, they came in, took out the ability for them to protect it. Now, let me say this. There's been conversations going around that Trump may want to take over Kargh Island or let the U.S. do it and control the Straits of Hormuz. Now, to me, that doesn't sound like a terrible idea. You don't want to rip off the Iranian people for their oil and all, but something has got to be done to just make it back into a free trading nation and a free trading area like it was, except for the Ayatollah's influence in Iran. But let's take a look at that map for a moment. Again, guys, go look at that video, and I'll link to it, about, this is before any of this happened, about how valuable that piece of property was. Again, quickly, we are not getting a lot of traffic here through the straits. See this? There's not much happening at all. Getting some coming out of Iran, and I think this is headed to China, from what I understand. Anyway, you can't even see Kargh Island on this map. You got to come way up in here into the northern Persian Gulf, right here. Let's look at it again for you guys that didn't watch the video. And it's 15 miles offshore. It is a coral island. You've got this Kargh National Monument Park here, a National Nature Monument, excuse me. But here's Kargh. And again, it's very small on the map, but 15 miles offshore. We talked about this in the first video. There's underground pipelines coming from these tanks out here to this offshore platform here, where the ships can pull up and load up their oil. They also have one here on this side. Now, in this case, the pipeline is above the water. You see that? They built out over it. And you have a very large airport right there. But according to Trump, they have come and taken out all the military infrastructure, but not the oil infrastructure. So the reason I'm doing the video is what's next? How will Iran respond to them getting this taken away from them? They really couldn't use it anyway, because any ships leaving there were going to be in danger. If it was their ships, it would be from the U.S. If it was anybody else's ship coming by there, it looks like Iran would try to get them. But again, I mentioned, once you get out of the straits, they have a lot of areas that they can transport oil, and thus you see that line of freighters leaving out of there. But again, this is a lot of oil here. And what it is, it's their largest export point, even though it's such a small island. When they gather all their oil, this is where they load it out. And 80% of the oil that comes out of there comes from right here. So again, how will Iran respond? I don't think they're going to send military in there. They got two options. Well, maybe more, but one would be, okay, if we can't have it, you're not going to have it, and hit the oil itself. It would take just short missile lobs over 15 miles and take out the oil production so no one gets it, right? Now, I don't think, they are saying in their mind, the mullahs, that they're going to come back. But I don't know if they really believe that or not. Again, we mentioned today that it would be a chess game of how long the rest of the world would not just rise up and just come and rise up against the war and turn everyone against it. And then the nations retreat and the mullahs effectively reemerge. Now, the other option is Trump comes in here and takes this and sends someone in to take it. And then they tells the Iranian people, you get it together, let's get some government going on here that can control this and open up the ports, and it's yours again. Until then, we have to open up the world exports. We're looking, just like in the video today, we're looking at a world economic crisis about to hit us. Even with the best case scenario of Kargh Island, those factors are still there. The numbers for April are going to be tough to deal with. But again, they have hit Kargh Island. Now, that's the only one he mentioned, but he said it's the greatest bombing campaign in the history of the Middle East. I guess the only other place would be Germany or somewhere, Maybe they're counting the 2 bombs in Japan, but the largest in the Middle East, and did not take out this oil. This, again, I think what it did was escalate it from the pearl of the Persian Gulf to the diamond, because this is going to be, even though it's small, this is going to be the center of what we're seeing going on. Again, let's back this out. There's been reports of attacks in Kuwait, in the UAE. And if we go through here, you're still seeing, again, the limited traffic, but certain areas that they're getting some ships out. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump steps in, depending on who it is, what nation, and tells these ships, enough's enough. Don't be exporting any more oil from Iran, period. We'll just have to wait and see on that. Again, I don't want to make this long. It's Friday evening. Everyone, including me, we were in the middle of relaxing, but this is important information. I wanted to get it out. Again, guys, just another chess move in this conflict. It would be good, guys, if anyone in the comments under this video have got other reports, because if this is the most massive bombing campaign in the history of the Middle East, then it was not just Kargh Island's military defenses. So we'll be looking at that. You guys, if you got reports, throw them in the comment section. Let's see what we have. We're watching it. You watch it. This is a heads up. Be safe.